Bounce. It is your girl, Unitedly Random. And if I'm really hyped today, Stu just asked me if I was going to throw him under the bus, and I was like, no. But if I'm really hyped today, Stu got me a frappuccino, sugar cookie frappuccino, okay, from Starbucks, okay. And see, I sent him in because he just asked me if I was going to throw him under the bus, and I was like, no. But now it's on my mind, okay? But I sent him into Starbucks to get me a coconut cream drink because they don't have any caffeine in those. And I'm supposed to be going to sleep soon. But no, this man comes out with a coffee drink, okay? And the problem with that, like with coffee and me, like, we get along, we have fun, but like coffee and me, no sleep, okay? I already have problems sleeping. I will not go to sleep with this. I'm gonna have to drug myself with the little gummies, not the CBD ones, but with the melatonin gummies to attempt to fall asleep. On the plus side, I don't have to be up at 10. I don't have to get up into like 11:30ish. Well, actually, I get up at 11 o'clock, you know, get ready to 11:30, and then 12 o'clock. Wait a minute, no, 11:30 we're out the house, okay, you know, to work, because I work at 12 tonight. So because of that, I have a lot more time. So he is okay, it's okay. But like, if I'm really hyped, it's because it's Stu. Now on top of that, I wanted to give you guys a little idea of what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about mothers, I think, a little bit. We have a TikTok of the day, and so my entire conversation is pretty much centered around that. So I hope that you guys enjoy this. You see, I'm trying to center things a little bit more. I took my braids loose, so that's what's going on right there. You know, this is all me, all natural. Ooh. Surprise, surprise. I did not expect that. Ring, ring, ring. So anyway, I'm going to see you guys after this little intro.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
And we are back. Hello, darlings. Now, a little bit of an update of my life before we get into the TikTok of the day. Me and Stu did another pregnancy test. Now, I don't know if the video is already up or not. I think I'm going to go ahead and try to post it this Thursday. It might be like sometime this week, so I don't know if this video came out before or after, but I'm going to go ahead, and this is the first one. Well, yeah, this is the first one, and then this is the second one. So I don't know how that's gonna really go. You guys, what the hell you doing? You guys, y'all saw Stuart running behind us. Wow. You were stumpy. I could hear your feet. So there was a lizard in our house when we got home, and also Stuart saw an owl last night. You know, so like this is just what's happening in my neck of the woods. What's happening in yours? Let me know down below in the comments. But I'm finna go ahead and wash this off. And while I'm washing this off, it is time to get into the TikTok of the day. Now, also with this little TikTok of the day, we are gonna have some little comments that are gonna be on the screen. Okay, so you can pause the video, take the time to read the comments. I think I'm going to pretty much do the video and then pop the comments on the screen, and then you can like pause it and then come back to me, and I'll leave it up on the screen for like a minute. And I will see you after you read all those comments, or you can just skip the comments, because it's just different views based off of this situation. I thought it'd be interesting to add, you know, opposing views to this situation. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, y'all check that out.
Hi. So you have your stitch turned off, but I'm not really stitching this for you. I'm stitching this for the other people who are stitching this. I'm seeing a lot of people, particularly a lot of very young people, stitching this and saying that this woman does not deserve empathy, that she is not a victim, so on and so forth. What you are seeing here is not a person playing the victim in a situation where they are not the victim. What you see here is a person who has been through years of abuse of their own, recognized that that abuse caused them to be abusive, admitted that they made a mistake, that there was a problem, and changed it. That does not erase any abuse that this person inflicted, but a lot of you have the entirely wrong idea about this. Parents who were abusive, who realized their wrongdoings, who confronted their own trauma, are allowed to be hurt, are allowed to have feelings of hurt and disgust for themselves for what they have done. When I was 19, I started going to a 12-step program to address dysfunction and issues with my family and trauma that I had, and working on my inner child. And one of the things that I got out of that was being able to sit down with my parents and say, here are the things that you did that hurt me, that traumatized me, and hear them apologize and hear the regret and the hurt as they realized what exactly it was that they did to me where they went wrong. But they are still allowed to feel shame and hurt and disgust for themselves because they were victims who inflicted the pain that they learned upon their children. You do not have to forgive your parents. You do not have to understand your parents' trauma. You do not have to go to 12-step programs, to therapies to work on that trauma. You do not have to confront your parents. What you do is entirely up to you, but the way that people are treating this woman is absurd, especially when you've never gone through the process it takes to break cycles of generational trauma and abuse. I am happy that I reached out, that I went somewhere to heal that trauma before I have children, but a lot of people didn't have that opportunity. This mom is taking accountability, which is something that a lot of you kids ask for a lot of the time. And now you're shaming a woman for doing it. A woman who's been through trauma of her own. And to this mother, I am so sorry that people are projecting the trauma from their parents onto you, because everybody's experiences are different. And a lot of the people who are stitching wish that their parents would take accountability and then gave you crap for doing exactly that.
And we are back, you guys. So yes, I was talking about family, and I think it was really interesting because when I watched the original video, I saw a lot of angry people in the original comments, and all those comments are the ones that I already posted on the screen. And I saw a lot of hurt people in those comments, and those weren't all of them. I just did like pretty much the top 10, and it was just a lot of pain there. And a lot of pain from the younger generation, and I'm a part of that generation. But I think that one of the things I saw was how the parent wasn't just coming out with her story to say, poor me, right? I saw this as the parent opening up her storyline, right? And by her being open and honest about the things that she went through, it would put it in perspective for other parents who are currently raising their kids and realizing that they are toxic parents. Because if no one actually puts it in front of you, if no one's really saying it and no one's saying, hey, there's guilt in recognizing that you weren't a good parent, I don't think that it's going to be as easily accessible for certain people to get to that understanding or that realization that they have to make a change or they're hurting someone, right? And I say all of this to say, I think to a certain extent, parents don't realize how much they are hurting you, because to a certain extent, the older generation doesn't even realize how much abuse they've actually incurred. They went through, I don't know the word I'm trying to, y'all know the word I'm trying to use, the life that they have lived, okay?
That's right.
Right? Incurred? Okay. And so based off of that, there has to be a certain realization. And what us, the younger generation, is seeing is we grow up with the technology that we have, and that's really a blessing. I tell it to Stu all the time. If I grew up when my mom had her first generation of kids, I'd be in my 40s right now, I would not be as emotionally, I'd probably still be as emotionally empathetic as I am, but I wouldn't be as healed as I am at this age. We're having this opportunity to heal at a younger age, and we're having this opportunity to take our healing in our raising ourselves. We're taking that back from our parents at a younger age because the internet started to raise us at some point. Our parents didn't have the things that we are afforded. I'm only 25, okay? I'm only 25, but still the older generations didn't have the things that the new generation has today. And it shows so very clearly in the way that the older generation moves, the way that the older generation speaks. It shows very clearly. And I think that there's a level of compassion that is being lost between each of the generations. I think that the older generation views the younger generation as, well, you guys don't know hard life and this and this and that. And the younger generation is seeing the older generation like, you guys are toxic and you have a lot of messed up views. And I don't like the way that you guys are doing things. And I'm a part of the younger generation, but I was also raised by an older person. So I feel like I was raised a part of the older generation, but I have also a new age mind. So whenever people really have conversations with me, they're like, oh yeah, you're such an old soul. No, my mom was old. And I grew up in this environment where I had access to the internet. I had access to all of these things to kind of expand my mind past what my mom gave me, right? And she gave me some solid structures. She gave me a lot of respect people. She gave me a lot of how I should conduct myself, okay? And some of that turned into paranoia about how I'm viewed. But other parts of it are things that I actively use day to day. Like, my mom wasn't all bad. I just have a lot of bad memories with her. A lot of bad memories associated with her. When I say my mom wasn't all bad, I say well, she taught me how to clean. I know how to fucking clean, okay? Put some bleach in the water, I make that house smell nice. I know how to get to a certain level. Maintaining that level, I know how to do a little decoration. I know how to think outside of the box. My mom was always putting something together to make it look nice, okay? I know how to do that. Actually doing it. See, my mama, here's the difference between me and my mom. I work a full-time job, okay? My mama was a full-time mama, okay? And I want that lifestyle. I'm jealous. I wish I had that lifestyle. Stu is gonna have to afford me that lifestyle later on in life. I told him I'm gonna be a stay-at-home mom, okay? I'm gonna be a stay-at-home mom YouTuber. I'm gonna handle it, okay? That is what I grew up. That's how I grew up to be one day, that stay-at-home mom. I've taken care of the kids and stuff like that because growing up, that's kind of how my mom taught me to be, okay? And now, I'm rambling. I tend to do that. I'm sorry if you're new. But, you know how people talk about how women, and their rights and stuff like that. And I'm like, we're all for women's rights and whatnot. But also, I think that to truly be feminist, I need people not to hate on my decision to be a housewife. Okay. Feminism. I don't have to want to stand on the same stage as men, and I think that to be truly feminist is to be open to choice. And as long as I have the choice, I'm respectful of the choice. I can see a woman being a top dog in a business. I'm like, yes, and she deserves it. But I'm also not going to look down on someone who chose the other path, which is family and this and this and that, because that's their life path, okay? And also, I think I can't necessarily look down on them because that's where I want to be. I'm like, yes, make me pregnant in the kitchen, making you a sandwich, barefoot. I want to waddle everywhere, okay? That's just the life for me. Some people might hear that and be like, oh, girl, that's what you want? And I'm like, hell yeah, that's what I want. Waddle. Waddle, 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 waddle. Alright. So anyway, yes, I feel like I went all around the world, but it comes back to, let's go back to the ticky-tack, okay? The reason that I showed you guys the TikTok is because it showed something that I love about people. I love when people sit down and talk and think about things and like work through, and I love that. I love that, right? My thing is, it also, I think it's a different view of something. I think that it's something interesting that we could talk about on my channel. But also, I think that it was very, very much something that I felt in my soul, and I didn't necessarily have the words to say it out. Or honestly, I just didn't want to deal with it. It was a lot of hurt people in the comments, and I didn't want to trigger them anymore by pointing that out. So I just kind of stepped away from it. But like at the end of the day, parents, if there's any parents here and you grew up and you were abused, okay, let's not sugarcoat it. You were abused. You had some suffering as you was going through. That affects who you are today. Especially if you never went to therapy or got any help for it, okay? That affects who you are today. And it's not your fault. The only thing that's ever going to be your fault is if you don't own up to it and you ignore it and you ignore the effects that those actions may have on your kids. You see, it's not my mom's fault that she had a hard childhood. It's not my mom's fault that she had difficult relationships, okay, due to how she was raised and whatnot. That's not her fault at all. Her fault is when I come to her and I tell her that her actions have hurt me, when I come to her and I try to communicate in ways that she didn't teach me, I try to communicate and I try to ask for help and I try to say, this is what I need if you want me to be a part of your life, or you want to be a part of my life. This is what I really need from you. Instead of admitting that she did some things wrong, she got defensive and gaslit me to the point where it's like, no, you're just imagining it all. Like, and that's what hurts, because I truly do wish that my mom could just, I wish she remembered the pain that she put me through. But at the end of it, like really at the end of the day, the axe doesn't remember every single tree that it cut down.
I like that.
Thank you. I heard it from somewhere. But like it's truly true. The axe doesn't remember every single tree it cut down. But I bet you that tree's not going to forget that axe. And I didn't forget that axe. So that's all. I thought it'd be a good conversation, and I rambled on it. Let me go ahead. Today is an oil day. Y'all know your girl get distracted with talking and don't be doing what she need to be doing. But what do you guys think about it? Because I think the first step to realizing that there was something wrong is call it what it is. People will be like, well, I wasn't necessarily abused because I had food on the table. You know, I didn't starve. There was a roof over my head and I had clean clothes to wear. Okay, but why do you flinch every time someone raises their hand?
Why do you think violence solves all problems?
Stuart said, why do you think violence solves all problems? Why are you still hurting? Why do you have that unexplained illness, you know? Because here's the thing, what people have been telling me is your body holds your wounds. The body holds so many wounds. Trauma wounds. Wounds that were afflicted to your brain affects your body. There's a book about that. I don't know the name of the book. If y'all know the name of the book, let me know. I'm going to have to read it. I don't know. But I hope this was interesting. I hope you guys enjoyed this little conversation. And you come back next time. I don't know what the next conversation is going to be about. But we'll get there. We'll get there one day. And at this point, like and subscribe if you haven't already. Peace, love, hair grease. And see you next time.
Bye.